Hello and welcome back to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel, your source for all things Everton. My name's Thomas and this is your starting 11 video for this week's game against Sheffield United. The game is taking place on Saturday the 21st. In terms of looking ahead to the rest of the week, just a quick note, obviously we will be playing Sheffield Wednesday in midweek in the Cup. So it'll be likely that there won't be too many changes from our starting 11 from Bournemouth, just because the fringe players like Sidibe, Tosin are more likely to come in midweek. Silva's less likely to kind of risk them already. So just to start, John Pickford. He's not really going anywhere in the team anytime soon, is he? He's been starting keeper for a few years now. He's a brilliant keeper. He will keep his place. Hasn't really done anything wrong this season. Hasn't set the world alight, but he will stay in the 11. Lucas Digne, not his finest so far this season. A couple of really good performances, a couple of maybe lacklustre performances, but he'll keep his place as well. Obviously, the only left back, being Leighton Baines. So maybe we might see Baines midweek. It's unlikely though. We'll probably stick with Digne for both games. So Digne will start. Then for the rest of the defence, shambolic against Bournemouth. Obviously, a few people kind of waiting to see if there's going to be any changes. I don't think there will be. I think although Mina and Keane were pretty poor, in all honesty, against Bournemouth, they'll keep their places again, I think. It's unlikely that Mason Holgate will come in. He'll probably feature in midweek against Sheffield Wednesday. And Lewis Gibson, obviously kind of the other kind of centre-back we have. Obviously we didn't sign anyone in the summer window to kind of play there. So Mason Holgate will probably stay out of the team until midweek. Looking at right back, now this is probably the most contentious position on the pitch at the moment. Seamus Coleman obviously is the captain, which means he does have a bit more leeway in whether he's going to play. So if he puts in a bad performance, he's more likely to start the next game than get dropped, because he is the captain. His leadership qualities are important to the team. So in terms of a right back, I personally think Coleman will stay in the team. I'm not sure if Sidibe is ready yet to play in the Premier League. Obviously he started against Lincoln, so I think Coleman will start the game against Sheffield United. Even though he was extremely poor against Bournemouth, he will probably keep his position as the captain, probably with a view to play Sidibe midweek against Sheffield Wednesday, as he did against Lincoln earlier in the Cup. So kind of Silva seems to be using the Cup competition as more a chance to play the fringe players, see if they're going to take their chance to play in the starting 11 in the Premier League. So in the defence, I don't think anything will change. No matter how bad it was against Bournemouth, that defence will probably stay the same. Next up, the midfield. Kind of the only injury news update from Marcus Silva in his press conference today. Andre Gomez still has a rib injury. He's recovering well, but he will be ruled out of this game again. Obviously, he picked up this rib injury before Bournemouth. It's not confirmed what it is. Apparently, the rumour is he's got broken ribs. I'm not sure where he's got that. Maybe a challenge in training. So he'll stay out of the team. Gbamin will obviously stay out of the team. He will be injured for a couple more months at least. So midfield will probably stay the same in my opinion, of Schneiderlin and Delph. Obviously there was that clip of Delph shouting at the rest of the players. His leadership qualities are clearly very important, and they will be important going forwards in the team. A bit of debate whether Tom Davies should start. Kind of a mix in the Toffee Blues at the moment. Do we think Davies should start? Do we think he should stay on the bench? Well, actually saying that, he hasn't actually made the bench. So I think he will make the squad. Tom Davies, will he start? I don't think so. I think he doesn't offer enough yet, and I think Silva's more likely to give him a chance in midweek. In terms of the midfield, then it will probably stay as Delph and Schneider, no matter how boring or defensive, whatever your opinion is in the midfield, that will probably stay the same. I'd imagine Iwobi will start on left wing again. He's offered the creative qualities that were definitely lacking earlier in the season when he's come in. So it's likely he'll start on the left wing. Sigurdsson, again, another one. A debatable position. Does he deserve to stay in the team? Should he be dropped? I think he'll stay in the team again for the 4-2-3-1, because he does kind of act as that double pivot to kind of... He did say when he came he wanted to play the 4-3-3. We haven't seen that properly yet. It's unlikely we'll see that for a while, with how important Sigurdsson is in that number 10 position, that classic number 10 role. On the right back, Richarlison's performances have picked up massively recently. He started the season quietly. He's grown into it. Obviously, the right wing probably isn't his favoured role. He seems to favour the left wing more, where he can cut inside. I don't think he likes playing striker either, and obviously we've got a few strikers there. We'll come on to that in a second, though. Obviously a very, very debated topic. I think Richarlison will stay in the team. So far, Pickford, Digne, Mina, Keane and Coleman, midfield of Delphin Schneiderlin, and then no changes for Iwobi, Sigurdsson and Richarlison. It's likely we'll probably see Bernard against Sheffield Wednesday in midweek. So I don't think a lot of this team will change from Bournemouth. But in terms of the striker, personally I think Moise Keane will start. Obviously people weren't happy with him being dropped against Bournemouth. Whether this was fatigue because of his international duty, he did play for Italy under 21s. So it's like, I think he'll come back in despite Calvert-Lewin scoring. I think Keane needs a run of games. There's no point, you cannot adapt to the Premier League if you're not playing in the Premier League, as I saw someone say on Twitter over the week. I think he has to start. Will Silva start Dominic Calvert-Lewin? I'm not sure. I think for me, Keane has to start, but I think Calvert-Lewin will be more likely to start. Obviously, he got his goal against Bournemouth. He'd waited a long time for that goal. It was a long time coming, but he did get that powerful header. Obviously, didn't really affect the game that much. The game going on to finish 3-1. So for the starting 11, just for a quick recap: Pickford, Digne, Keane, Mina. There's a lot of the same sounds in this team. Seamus Coleman, Delphin Schneiderlin, Iwobi, Sigurdsson, Richarlison, and then I don't want this to be the case, but I think Calvert-Lewin will start again. Just kind of a quick look at the bench. Obviously, it's not the starting 11, but it is kind of an area which we've seen Tosun feature. We haven't seen Tom Davies feature, which is very debated at the moment. I think Tom Davies will at least make the squad this week. I think he's not ready to start in the midfield yet. I don't think Silva thinks he's ready to start in the midfield yet. So I think we'll see him. Tosun, he impressed on international duty. He didn't feature against Bournemouth. I think it's likely he'll make the bench again, maybe with a view to playing him in midweek. So overall, no changes actually to the starting 11 against Bournemouth for me. Despite how bad or poor that performance I think it was, I think they'll all stay in the team, with Keane more likely to come on later in the game. Bernard maybe might impact. We're kind of tied down in the midfield at the moment with Gomez and Gbamin being injured. So I think Delphin Schneiderlin will stay the same. So thank you very much for watching. Let's hope for a more positive result on Saturday against Sheffield United. Be sure to check out all the social medias down below. And thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.